Let's go Falcons! Big things are happening behind the scenes, and there's a lot to talk about. So, without wasting time, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Rise up! There's been a lot of buzz lately about a possible trade that could shake up things in Atlanta, and yes, we're talking about none other than Kyle Pitts. Let's dive right into it. The former Florida Gator star and current Falcons tight end has been at the center of trade rumors as we head into the NFL offseason. When the Falcons picked Pitts with the 4th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, expectations were through the roof. He was supposed to be the next big thing, a generational talent who would redefine the tight end position. But now, the big question is, has he really lived up to the hype? Pitts hasn't been bad by any means. In his first 4 seasons, he's played 61 games, catching 196 passes for 2,651 yards and 10 touchdowns. Solid stats, no doubt. But do those numbers scream elite tight end? Not exactly. Falcons fans have seen flashes of greatness, but they haven't seen the consistent dominance they hoped for, and that's where things get interesting. According to Andrew Bullis of Sports Note, there's a real chance that Pitts could be traded this offseason. He even predicted a potential move to the Indianapolis Colts. Now, let's be clear, this is just a prediction for now. But when you look at the situation, it makes sense. Pitts hasn't quite found his rhythm in Atlanta's offense, and with the team possibly looking to make some changes, moving him might not be that crazy. So why the Colts? They've got a young quarterback in Anthony Richardson, who could really use a reliable target. Pitts would be a perfect fit as a safety net for Richardson, offering him a playmaker in the middle of the field. Plus, Pitts is entering the final stretch of his contract, with the 2025 season being his last year. If the Falcons don't see him as part of their long-term plans, now might be the time to make a move while his value is still high. But let's flip the script for a second. What if the Falcons decide to keep Pitts? He's only 24 years old, and there's still plenty of time for him to develop into the superstar everyone thought he could be. Remember, he wasn't just good in college, he was amazing. At Florida, he racked up 100 catches, 1,492 yards, and 18 touchdowns. In his final season alone, he put up 770 yards and 12 touchdowns on just 43 receptions. That's elite-level production. So here's the big question. Should the Falcons trade Kyle Pitts, or should they keep him and work to get the best out of him? There are arguments for both sides. Maybe a fresh start is exactly what he needs, or maybe Atlanta just hasn't found the right way to use him. One thing's for sure. This is a situation to watch closely as the offseason unfolds. Now I want to hear from you, Falcons fans. Should the team trade Pitts and get what they can for him, or should they stick with him and try to make it work? So, what do you think? Do you still believe Kyle Pitts can become the game-changing tight end we all hoped for? Leave your thoughts in the comments. The Falcons are in a tough financial situation. Missing the playoffs for the 7th straight season is bad enough, but now they're $11.9 million over the salary cap, one of the worst spots in the league. That means tough decisions are coming, and one of them might involve parting ways with veteran defensive tackle David Onyemata. Now let's be clear, this isn't about Onyemata's performance. He had a solid season for Atlanta last year, playing every game and recording 3 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, and 5 quarterback hits. He was still a key player on the defensive line, ranking as the 38th best interior lineman out of 118 qualified players. But with the Falcons needing to clear cap space, Onyemata's contract has become a point of discussion. He signed a 3-year, $35 million deal last offseason to reunite with his former Saints position coach, Ryan Nielsen. But with Nielsen gone after just 1 season, Onyemata might become a cap casualty. Cutting him would leave Atlanta with $8.8 million in dead cap, but it would also free up $8 million in space. If they designate him as a post-June 1st cut, that number jumps to $10.5 million. Of course, the Falcons could save even more by moving on from another veteran defensive tackle, Grady Jarrett. Cutting Jarrett would save a huge $16 million in 2025, but that's a whole other conversation. Jarrett has been the heart and soul of this defense for nearly a decade, so moving on from him would be a shocking move. But with the Falcons struggling with cap space, nothing is off the table. At the end of the day, GM Terry Fontenot has some tough choices ahead. The Falcons need to build a competitive team while also fixing their salary cap mess. Does that mean parting ways with Onyemata, or is there another move coming? Now, I want to hear from you, Falcons fans. Should the team cut Onyemata to free up cap space, or should they find another way to make the numbers work? And what about Grady Jarrett? Could the unthinkable actually happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get this debate going. The offense put up a solid 32 points per game in those matchups, but the defense struggled, leading to a 1-2 record for the rookie. Many believe Michael Penix Jr. should have been given the starting role sooner. Kirk Cousins faced a tough stretch with injuries and inconsistent play during a crucial 4-game losing streak. However, the Falcons front office insists that Cousins' health wasn't the main factor, despite what fans and analysts have speculated. Whatever happened behind the scenes, the transition has been made, and Bon Robinson is making sure Penix is ready for the challenge. Robinson knows how the NFL works. Quarterback changes are part of the game. He recently told RG reporter DJ Siddiqui, "That's the NFL. You can't really be surprised when things happen. You just have to learn how to adapt, support each other, support one quarterback, support the other, always, throughout the whole season." Penix's numbers in his first 3 starts weren't eye-popping, 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. But those games could be the start of something much bigger in 2025. Robinson and his teammates are rallying behind him, understanding that a young quarterback needs time to develop. "We had to make sure Mike was ready to go because he's obviously a young guy," Robinson said. "He had his first 3 starts, so I always made sure he was dialed into the game." For Robinson, the quarterback situation directly impacts his own performance. He's an elite talent, but without stability at quarterback, his first 2 seasons have been part of back-to-back losing campaigns. Still, he's not making excuses. Instead, he's focused on consistency and taking things one step at a time. "I'll just say being consistent. Being consistent from week to week," Robinson said. "I don't look ahead. Obviously, we want to go to the playoffs and have big goals, be in the Super Bowl. We've got to focus on 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, because obviously in this league, when you start looking ahead, you start getting smacked in the mouth and start losing." The Falcons are hoping Penix will be the one to finally bring stability under center. It's been 5 years of quarterback changes, but Robinson and the rest of the team are determined to make sure this is the last time they have to break in a new starter. If Penix develops as they hope, Atlanta could finally have a long-term answer at quarterback, and that's something every Falcons fan has been waiting for. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Michael Penix Jr. is the long-term answer for the Falcons? Can Bon Robinson's leadership help him take the next step? Let me know in the comments, and let's get this conversation going. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Go Falcons!